Hello everyone. So today we are playing Underneath, which was kindly sent to me by Good Luck Press. So I've done a little bit of prep. So I've chosen my character, who I believe is here. Her name is Jayde. And yeah, I've filled out a few other little bits that should become clearer once I explain the game. So Underneath is kind of like a map drawing game, I suppose. You get a little hex grid there, and each hex represents, say, a part of the cave. So I'll give you a brief little intro that's in the book. So, in the darkest recesses of the earth, strange things lurk and lie. Only through exploring will we ever learn what dwells underneath. Underneath is a solo game, exploration and mapping game of the unexpected things you encounter underground. Map, journal and roll dice to build out a winding cave system while encountering all the dangers and perils subterranean caverns have to offer. You'll be building out as a singular cave system, unearthing its unknown pockets and mapping your discoveries. Underneath is a game where what we encounter when we venture alone in the dark. Cavernous chambers, strange creatures, bugs, and the remains of lost civilizations all lying dormant under your feet, just waiting to be found. In Underneath, you'll discover, explore, and map cave chambers, fill an excursion journal for everything you encounter, and overcome obstacles and confront unexpected cave dwellers. You'll have a selection of cavers to choose from, each with their own speciality skills that impact how they navigate through the caves. Once you pick a caver, you'll be ready to spelunk into the depths of the undiscovered cave system, build out a map, encounter strange formations and inhabitants, and try to survive your excursion. Note on realism. Underneath is a quilted tapestry of the experiences of caves. Caves vary based on region, sediment deposits and groundwater. You aren't going to find all the features in every type of cave, but you might find a few. While Underneath loves to draw from the realism of the natural world, is also a game played for fun, and so all the weird stuff is going to be in here. Getting started. Underneath is for 1+ players and takes 2 to 3 hours to play. While built for solo play, there is a multiplayer option to open the cave excursions to groups. You'll want an open table to play on, a sturdy place to draw your trusty headlamp and some protein bars for your journey. To play Underneath, you'll need 2 6-sided dice, a cave map, something to write with, character cards, journal or sheets of paper. So we have the journal, got the character card, I've printed out my map, a pen and a pencil. Pencil has a little rubber on it, which should be good if I make a mistake. Sensitive content. Underneath touches on body horror, common phobias like spiders, small spaces and the dark, and can inspire introspective thoughts about mortality and death as well. Includes instances of violence. As well as it includes instances of violence. How you interact with this content is up to you, whether you lean into the horror or stay away. Consider picking up a movie rating for your game to guide yourself in what you want to include in the narrative of your game. PG-13, indulge with the horror in moderation. We get some gore, but not too much. Your cave will pass out instead of die. R, let the brutality of nature have its way. Gore and blood are part of the draw, and death is a likely inevitability for those that aren't lucky enough to find their way out. Using this book, Underneath will take you through prepping your cave map, generating your cave system, selecting or building your understanding your caver's skills, and then providing you with what you'll find in each chamber, path, tunnel, and cranny of the cave. Setup. To set up your game, print out a blank tile map. Check. Gather everything you need to play, read through the rules, and then select your caver. So we have Jayde. I just need to go and get my dice at some point, because I forgot those. Explore section. Exploring is how we generate the cave. To explore, roll a 6-sided die to determine the chamber type. Then roll 2 6-sided dice for the chamber's contents. Resolve the actions and prompts, and note any impacts on your caver. Record the chamber on your map, journal your progress, and then explore the next chamber. Okay, so before I get onto this, I'm just going to get my dice, so bear with me. Right, so I am back with my dice in hand. So to begin Begin by creating an entrance to your cave. Ooh, so where shall we make our entrance from? Actually, do you know what? I think I might get rid of this mat because I'm worried the surface I'll write on won't be hard enough, let's say. Okay. Okay, so where shall we begin? I might put my entrance up here. This will be entrance. And then, right, begin by creating an entrance to your cave. The roll a 6-sided die to generate the next chamber. You'll discover exploring results in obstacles, features, paths, discoveries, encounters, and situations. Any of these chambers can open up into a scenario chamber. Let's take a look at each type of chamber. So let's roll a d6 first and see what we get. Oh, so that's chamber 5. So we have an encounter. Caves can contain things you can't anticipate, aberrant wildlife, tricks of light, sound, or something truly alien buried deep below the surface. Okay, so I'm going to find, so what was that? That was encounter. So I'm going to go to encounter. I think after that, then I roll 2 6-sided dice. Cool. So let's go to encounter. Okay. Now let's roll 2 d6s and see what we get. Just move those over. So that's a 3 and a 1, so I believe that would be 4. Okay, so first chamber. Bad air. Yep, that's correct. It ends there. Moving through the passageway, something feels off, but you aren't entirely sure what, until your head begins to swim and you struggle to breathe. Roll body 5+ to fight against a low oxygen environment. Okay, this is in the rules, so to do with like your character's stats. Actually, I feel as though I'm jumping ahead a bit. I need to go back a step. So we've rolled our first chamber, so which is going to be an encounter. So if we go back to, where is it now? Characters. Okay, so I've got my first chamber ready. So obstacle, so that's when you roll a 1. When faced with an obstacle, you'll need to succeed a skill check, either body or mind. If you succeed the skill check, you continue unabated and unharmed. If you fail, that's when complications arise. 2, feature. A feature shows off the various spelunkiums and sediment formations that appear in caves. Feature chambers are a great place to take in the beauty of the subterranean world. Path. Paths connect larger chambers through tunnels, tubes, and trenches. Easy enough to navigate paths offer you ever-changing ways to explore from chamber to chamber. Discovery. Sometimes when exploring underground, you encounter something surprising. Discover the unexpected ecosystem of a cave or the remnants of past explorations or inhabitants. Encounters, this is what we've just rolled. Caves can contain things you can't anticipate, aberrant wildlife, tricks of light and sound, or something truly alien buried deep below the surface. Situation. Things just happen in caves, accidents, getting lost, and the borderline supernatural. As you navigate the cave, you'll witness nature as it moves on its own accord, or find yourself not as alone as you thought. Scenarios. This is after you've rolled the first d6. This is when you roll 2, so this is kind of what I've done. Scenario chambers can only be found via other chambers. Enter a sprawling chamber filled with unique sights and unforeseen discoveries. Each scenario chamber will offer a little bit of everything: features, obstacles, encounters, discoveries, and hopefully sometimes a way out. Unless a scenario chamber states a way through, it's a dead end. Oh, interesting. Okay. So I think a scenario is a type of chamber contents. I'm not sure. So roll in the chamber's contents. Once you've rolled for the chamber, go to the chamber's contents table and roll a 2 6-sided dice and add the results together to see what's inside. If you roll a combination you've already rolled before, you can either re-roll for new contents or interpret that result as a dead end. Read the description and draw a representation on an adjacent title. Make a note of the chamber in your journal and begin the process again. Navigating the book and passages. Different sections of the book will come with some visual shorthand to help you know how to build out your cave and proceed through text. When chaining chambers together, paths will continue on or diverge. These symbols show how you can proceed through the cave. So if we get an arrow to the right, my right, one passage through, sort of like a Y shape, path splits, 2 passages through, path splits, 3 passages through for a more forked symbol, and obviously, yeah, the stop sign, no exit. This means you can't continue through the cave and continue chaining chambers. When you've hit a dead end, you will need to find another way through, unless indicated. You don't need to re-roll chambers you've already visited. Interesting, okay. So here we have more symbols here. These symbols show the directions you can build off the previous chamber. You can choose which direction to build out depending on how your map is fitting together. Features, obstacles, paths, discoveries and encounters will be on one tile of the map. Scenario chambers will be larger and take certain shapes. You can rotate them to fit in with your map. Excellent, okay. Yeah, I kind of anticipated that. So, yeah, one hexagon, let's say, or hex, contains, yeah, whatever you roll, so feature, discovery, encounter. But, yeah, a scenario may require more hexagons. These symbols are for scenario chambers. Navigate to the corresponding scenario in the scenario section. So I have had a look at these symbols, so I'm familiar with kind of what they mean. When interacting with things in each chamber, you'll find these symbols: star, successful roll result, skull, this is a failed roll result, and stars, this is an effect of the cave on the caver. This is a prompt for you to answer in your journal. Oh, okay. Update excursion journal and map the chamber. As you navigate the cave, you'll experience and discover a lot that hasn't yet been seen by someone else, or so you think. As you explore the cave and discover new chambers, record your findings in an excursion journal. Note down what you've discovered, directions, the difficulty of traversing the cave, and anything else you feel of importance if you were to take this route again. Each chamber event is accompanied with a prompt to help inspire some reflections to your journaling. Who knows what thoughts may come up when you're stuck in 30 centimetre wide crevice 5 kilometres below the surface. Example excursion journal entry. Cave entrance leads to a low ceiling tunnel that opens up to a keyhole passage as a trench emerges in a tunnel I was walking through. Note, moving around the map. The cave has a capacity to split the path, loop back or end in a dead end. You can always move forward through the cave, unless otherwise noted in the event prompts. Example exploration. Let's walk through an example of exploration. First, you roll a chamber. Your first roll result is a 3 path. You've encountered a path through the cave. Next, roll the contents of the chamber. Flip to the path section of the rule. So I've bookmarked these. And roll 2 more dice. A 5 and a 4, the result of 9. The path is scalloped passageway. Read the description, update your excursion journal, and draw a representation of the scallop line path on the tile. Example excursion journal entry. Cave entrance leads to a passageway where the formation of the rock changed. The floor became uneven like waves of stone. I can see water must have flowed through this passageway at some point and brought sediment with it, shaping the cave floor this way. Note, scenario chambers. Each type of chamber has the capacity to connect to or reveal a scenario chamber, which will be a larger portion of the cave with multiple things to encounter, see and find. Example scenario chambers. Now it's time to generate the next chamber. You rolled a 2 and get a feature, and for the chamber rolled a total of 4, generating a recess in the wall. Generating a recess in the wall. Okay. Recess in the wall. Parts of the wall look carved away. The lines in the recess in the wall, too clean and straight to be natural part of the cave. Inspecting them, one appears to be carved away passage into another chamber of the cave. This entry has an effect and a prompt. So the sparkles maybe generate some health or take some health away. So yeah, you find an open passageway through the cave. The next chamber will be a book scenario chamber. Looking in close at the rock, you see the faded but distinct indentations of tool marks, where remnants of objects are left in the recess carved to house them. First, draw a representation of the recess in the wall that leads to the scenario chamber, and move on to the next chamber. Then add an entry to Beth's excursion log, so if we're playing Beth. Finally, because the effect indicated to the book scenario chamber, flip to the book scenario chamber page, read the entry and follow the scenario specific instructions. Encounters. While exploring the cave, you'll face things that you'll need to overcome. Encounters and obstacles rely on your skills or gear to succeed in a contest of wits or dexterity. Each encounter and obstacle has a challenge number, which represents a number you need to hit or exceed to succeed. It's a bit like D&D. Imagine like hitting armor class or something. Or a DC. To overcome an obstacle or encounter, roll 2 6-sided dice and add them together and include any bonuses or penalties in the total. So if my character, she has +1 to body. So if I was doing like a body check, I roll 2 d6s and add the 1. If your result matches or exceeds a challenge number, you succeed, passing without harm. Sometimes you may even get a boost to your skills. If your result is lower than the challenge number, you fail. Complications will arise in the form of incurring harm, losing gear, penalty to your skills, or the cave itself changing. Example encounter roll. To succeed the cruel obstacle, you need to roll a body roll of 4 or higher. You roll 2 3s for a total of 6, but your cave of Beth has a penalty of -1 body. Your result is 5. Beating a challenge number is a success. Beth manages to crawl through the low passageway. Stats and gear. To get through the cave in exploration in one piece, cavers need skill and preparation. In underneath, each caver has 2 stats, body and mind, as well as harm score and a collection of gear. Let's take a look at each. Body skill. The body skill determines how well your caver can physically navigate the cave. Body encompasses everything from strength to dexterity to reflexes. Each caver starts off with a 0 body modifier, unless otherwise stated. So in my character, she gets +1. That can go up or down depending on bonuses or penalties incurred while exploring the cave. Reflect in your journal entries how the modifier shifting is impacting your caver. You may be feeling a pep in your step from a +1 or starting to feel haggard and exhausted at a -2. Mind skill. The mind skill determines how well the caver can mentally navigate the cave. Mind encompasses everything from a sense of direction, perception, to a knowledge of caves. Each caver starts off with 0 mind modifier, unless otherwise stated. That can go up or down depending on bonuses or penalties incurred within exploring the cave. Reflect in your journaling entries how the modifier is impacting your caver. You may be feeling more alert and aware from a +1 or getting lost and confused at a -2. Harm. Harm tracks how many spills and thrills you can have before you succumb to your injuries or an encounter with something else leaves you bloodied and broken. Each caver starts off with 0 in harm. At 4+ harm, your caver will incur a -2 modifier to their body skill. Interesting. The harm they've taken is starting to take a toll. If a caver reaches 6 harm, they pass out or die, unless otherwise stated. Harm can be healed by 2 health kits, which my character has 1 already, and which are one of 2 types of gear. Unconscious cavers can be rescued, and dead cavers may become new features of this cave. Gear. It's important to be prepared, and part of that is bringing the right equipment. Each caver has 2 types of gear, rope kits and health kits. So my character here, Jayde, has 2 rope kits and 1 health kit. Rope kits and health kits. Sorry, I just read that. Rope kits help with physically traversing the cave. Health kits help with healing any harm that has been inflicted. Rope kits. Each caver starts off with 2 rope kits. Each kit adds a +1 bonus to body skills in addition to any other bonuses. Oh, interesting. I didn't know this, so I need to add maybe 2 onto that. Yeah, if you fail a roll, you can choose to sacrifice a rope kit to change that roll to a success. But once you sacrifice a rope kit and its bonus, its bonus is gone forever. So each kit has +1 bonus. So I need to, that body becomes +3 because my character has innately +1. But because I've got 2 rope kits, they are adding 2 to it, so it becomes 3. Okay. Health kits. Each caver starts off with 1 health kit, which I've added. Each kit heals 2 harm. Once they're used, they're gone. You might be able to find some health kits in the cave, but it is rare. Losing gear. Sometimes when you fail a roll, you will lose some gear and the bonus that comes with it. You can choose whether to lose a rope kit or your health kit. If you are down to 1 type of gear, well, that's the gear that's going to go. Okay, this is cool now. This is like the characters. Cavers. To traverse the cave, you'll be embodying an experienced caver with special skills and traits that help them navigate the caves. Each caver has a different personality that will shape their thoughts and actions while exploring the cave. Pick one of the 2 personalities when playing. Keep your character in mind when answering prompts. Beth. Beth is a skilled caver who can keep level-headed in the most stressful situations. She always comes over prepared and defies logic. what she can fit into, and it defies logic what she can fit into a fanny pack. Beth scouts out local cave systems on her own before she embarks on any group trips through the system. Note taker and map maker, she knows everything and exactly where it is. An exemplar in butch competency. Rope top. My recreational interest in rope extends outside of climbing. Objective. Exploration and climbing are just a great workout for Beth's other recreational activities. Beth starts the game with 1 extra rope kit. Or, so these are like 2, I think, objectives. New sites. There has to be something in these cave systems that someone hasn't found yet. Objective. Beth is looking to find something new to add to her routes, something to really impress the girls. Beth starts the game with +1 to all rows in the first 5 chambers. Oh, that's handy. Gabriella, quick-witted and sassy but cool-headed while climbing and often the first to respond in a crisis. Gabriella has a competitive streak even when it's just competing with herself. She's heard that this cave can really challenge your body and mind, and she's looking to put herself to the test. Quick-witted. Exploration is a navigation puzzle that I can solve. Objective. Find the places that seem impossible to get to and get to them. Gabriella starts the game with +1 in mind and can pick 1 scenario chamber and place it 10 tiles away ready to be discovered. Or, performer, the acoustics down here are amazing. Objective, Gabriella is looking for a place to put on a show, even if it's just a solo performance. Gabriella starts the game with a +1 to body. Sasha, somewhat green to cave in but not unfamiliar to the risk and thrill that comes with things like urban exploration, Sasha is more invested in what cavers have to offer her and the subscribers. Sasha wants to find things she can do that will get the clicks, the views on their online videos. That is just as long as she doesn't end up in a compilation video of top 10 brutal deaths. Creepypasta. A spiritual sequel to Ted the Cave would be so big right now. Objective. Sasha wants to document her excursion to edit into some found footage horror. Sasha at any time can discover fang, water and hand scenario. Oh, chambers without rolling. Interesting. Or cut list. Some candles and strange writing are all you need to invoke the arcane. Objective. Sasha wants to find something they can spin into a video about cave cultists. Sasha gets a +1 on rolls, trying to discern anything vaguely occult. Jayde. This is my character here. A well-versed caver, Jayde knows how to run an excursion. Caving is just another intense sport for her that pushes her body and mind to their limits, while getting to do things and see things that many would never experience. She set out to conquer every cave, and this one is just next on her list. Workout. When the gym starts to get boring, I start to improvise. Objective. Jayde wants to overcome impossible seeming obstacles to prove what the human body can do. Jayde starts the game with +1 in body, but we've added another 2 to that because of the rope kits. Risk taker. This is the second option. You only live once, right? Objective. Jayde wants to find all the dangers the cave has to offer. As long as Jayde has a rope kit, she can re-roll dice, but always has to take the second result. Interesting. So now we have Sid. Noodly and Limber. Sid found a joy in caving and climbing that put to use their disabled body by finding the small spaces to cram it through. An aging goth at heart, Sid delights in the macabre sights and sounds of caves. Plus they heard that this system has a record of supernatural occurrences. Sid's physical ability is different from the rest of the cavers. Sid starts with a -1 to body but can take 8 harm instead of 6. Interesting. So, first personality is a horror fiend. This is just like one of my favourite movies. Objective. Sid wants to creep themselves out and have an excursion that feels closer to a horror movie. Sid gets a +1 to all situations that could potentially happen in a horror movie. Or crunchy queer. Nothing says getting down to earth like getting under it. Objective. Sid wants to find weird flora to bring back up to the surface to possibly cultivate. Sid gets a +1 when interacting with flora and non-violent fauna. Mara. Mara is a pre-med student and is often too busy with school and her future career as a doctor to venture out on wild excursions with her friends. Her busy schedule finds her often going solo, and while she loves the time alone, she misses the camaraderie of group trips. Bookworm. When not studying, I spend my free time studying. Objective. Mara is looking to find something that she can't read about in a book. Mara starts the excursion with a +1 to the first 5 mind rolls. Or Pliny's Path. Medicine is just one of the natural sciences that captures my interest. Objective. To witness the wonders of the natural world of caves. Mara starts a game with 1 extra health kit. So you can use health kits to heal 3 instead of 2. Interesting. Okay, so for simplicity, I've chosen a character from the book, but if you want to make your own caver, you can. And there are blank options to do this in the little handouts you get. So want to make your own caver. Give your caver a name and a reason why they want to explore the cave. So, for example, if we go back to Mara, that would be like Bookworm. Whether it be discovering something someone else hasn't, escapism, or a completionist attitude towards map making. They can start with a +1 bonus to their body or mind skills, or get one extra piece of gear. Give your caver 3 interesting qualities or hobbies they may have. They may have surprise applications in the cave. If you come across something that aligns with it, remove 2 from the challenge number. Prepare your journal. Prepare your excursion journal by writing your character's name, personality, and their objective. So I have done this, and I'll come on to this later. Expand on their objective by including what you, the player, also hopes to get out of the game. Oh, I haven't done that bit yet. Decide whether you filed a flight plan with a local park ranger, and if there is a limit of chambers before you are considered missing and rescued. Start with a description of the opening of the cave and where it could be located, whether it's in a cliffside, a hole in the ground, an opening in a ravine, or along a riverbed. Getting out. Very important when you're in a cave. Once you've entered the cave and started exploring, you will eventually need to find your way back out. If the path you follow continues uninterrupted the whole time you're exploring, you can turn around and leave at any point. Events or failed rolls can cause the path you're on to be closed off, cutting you off from your only known way out. When you find yourself cut off from the entrance, you'll need to find a new way out of the cave. Events and scenario chambers will open up ways out of the cave when you find an exit. You can choose to leave the cave or continue exploring to see what else the cave has to offer. Or, if your caver filed a flight plan, which I'm going to do, which is the number of chambers your caver would explore, you'll end your game with your caver being rescued, unable to continue exploring until the next excursion. When you find your way out, make a final journal entry into your excursion journal. What changed in you after your excursion? What discovery will never leave you? Will you ever venture below ground again? So I'm going to make a note or just remember these specific questions because they'll be very good prompts at the end. Finally, give the passages and chambers you discovered names and label them on your map. Pass now. If you reach 6 harm, your body has taken as many injuries as it takes. You'll pass out where you are and you can't continue on. If you want a happy ending for your caver, then they properly reported their cave excursion to park rangers and will be rescued from the cave. On a later day, you can pick up your excursion back up and again from the place you passed out. Dying. If you're looking for a harsh or more brutal tone for your game, once you hit 6 harm, you're dead. The final foul is going to be your last, and your body will be a new fixture for the next explorer going through the cave. Options for future games involve playing a new caver to rescue your previous character lost in the cave system. Multiplayer. Not really relevant to me, but I'll read it out anyway. If you're interested in playing underneath with 1 or more other people, each of you will pick a caver to be. Take turns for each of your cavers to traverse through the cave. Instead of journaling, you'll reflect to each other what you'll see and experience in the cave. Each caver will need to succeed rolls to make it through the cave, giving ample opportunity for cavers to get split up, separated and lost in the cave. Once you're all split up, it becomes a race to see who can make it out alive. Once the first person makes it out, they can call for help for the others, or they can leave them waiting to see who else makes it out too. Setting out. With your blank map and excursion journal at the ready, you're ready to begin rolling dice and building out your cave system. As you explore the cave, you'll discover the geography of the cave and encounter strange flora and fauna. Once you enter, you'll need to find your way back out. Ready to explore? I sure am. Okay, so if we remember, going back into the instructions, these are, cave system and obstacles, these are one of the D6s I can roll to basically categorise my chambers. So yeah, we have obstacle, feature, path, discovery, encounter, situation and scenarios as an extra. So if we go back, I believe I initially rolled, I think it was an encounter, and then I got a 4, so I was up to bad air. So, but before we start that, before I forget again, I'm just going to take you through my character. So I've chosen Jayde. And I think I've already read out really her personality and objective, but I might give a quick summary. So she's a well-versed caver. She knows how to run an excursion. She's very into intense sports, and caving is just another facet of that interest. Yeah, she wants to conquer every cave, and this one is just next on a long, long list. She goes to the gym a lot, and she wants to, yeah, sort of improvise. And I suppose caving is a way to do that. So yeah, I chose the gym optional workout. So objective, Jayde wants to overcome the impossible, seeming obstacles to prove what the body can do. Jayde starts the game with +1 body, but because she has 2 rope kits, it's now +3. And I have chosen the escape route. So she has notified park rangers that she is only exploring 5 chambers. I may change this if as time goes on. They'll be notified if this plan changes. So the next part of the instructions, it was about kind of setting the scene, like what does the entrance to the cave look like? So I was kind of inspired by the film The Descent. I think it came out, God, about 20 years ago now. And I always remember either the end or the beginning where a hand just shoots up out of this like mossy little growth, and that kind of inspired me to be like, okay, what if my cave was situated under the sort of like a mossy growth? So I've written, under the roots of a giant redwood, there is a grassy mound covered in moss, dead leaves, and wet, rotted wood. But those who know this forest well hold a secret. Beneath this pile of damp mulch lies an entrance, a small oval-shaped hole that plummets 20 feet into the centre of an abandoned ex-mining chamber. The reasons people gave for the failed prospecting venture vary, but stories passed down through the generations say this forest is cursed, and those who dare abuse it for their own means will feel its wrath. An old magic runs through the cave networks and root systems of ancient trees. Explorers and newcomers know nothing of the curse or old magic that protects this historical site. Some even say the ghosts of those buried in this forest wander the caves. But others claim these tales are just stories to stop children going in and getting lost. Ooh. So is this cave system haunted? We don't know. Are there horrible things stalking the networks, keeping an eye out? Maybe they're blind because it's dark. Sharpening their senses to detect unwitting cavers. Okay, right, so back to Jayde. So she's gone through this hole under the massive tree roots. She's abseiled down, and unluckily she's encountering a bit of bad air. Maybe this was from the mines where some, I suppose, prospector is the right word, right? They're mining for something. You know, maybe some gas is released from the digging and the chiselling away from the stone walls. So you feel the, oh no, that's point 3, right, bad air. Moving through the passageway, something feels off, but you aren't entirely sure what until your head begins to swim and you struggle to breathe. Roll body 5+ to fight against the low oxygen environment. Okay, so she's got +3, so yeah, we should be all right, hopefully. Let's hope we roll high. 2. Oh, we've just passed it. So I fought against it. You feel the lightness in your head and know that you wandered into a low oxygen pocket. Holding your breath to avoid breathing it, you quickly move through passage, mitigating harm. You continue forward. So that's a pass. We do that one. So if I failed, the oxygen levels are low in this pocket and the time spent navigating has already affected your body. Take 1 harm and turn back. Well, should be back to the entrance if that happened. You feel it around you before you feel it affecting you. What in the cave tells you something is wrong? Okay, so I'm just going to look up these little symbols as well before I journal that. So we have, path splits 3 passages through, and I can choose any direction. Sweet. Okay. Right, I'm just going to quickly journal this. If I can move this out of the way. Let's move my mic down a bit so I can actually see what I'm writing. As I abseil down into the darkness, I throw a red flare. It clatters to the bottom. The bright smoke feels like it's choking me. It doesn't take me long to realise I've entered a low oxygen pocket. This isn't good, to say the least. If more chambers are like this, my adventure doesn't bode well. Do I make a note that she sort of learned of the tales, or do I save that for later? I'll save that for later. So just to recap, as I abseil down into the darkness, I throw a red flare. It clatters to the bottom. The bright smoke feels like it's choking me. It doesn't take long for me to realise I've entered a low oxygen pocket. This isn't good. If more chambers are like this, my adventure doesn't bode well. Okay, so I hold my breath and press on, hoping to get some clear air soon. And yeah, she's holding her flare in one hand. I mean, have I just sneakily given myself an extra equipment? Who knows? Okay, so that's fine. We've done our little journal entry there, and I'm going to update the map. So yeah, I'll just say the entrance is this square. So we've abseiled down. So this was low O2. But we made it. And where am I going to go next? So I've got a route that splits off into 3 chambers, so 3 passages through. So I can go either here, here, or here. And so I can build off also any of these as well, which is quite handy. I say we can go this way. Okay, we'll go this way. And we're going to roll another d6 to determine what chamber I found myself in next. A bit choky there. Oh, a 5. Oh, it's another encounter. Okay. Now roll 2 more d6s. So that's a 6 and a 1, a 7. Oh. Interesting. Does it go up to 12? Yeah, it does. 7. Bats. Ooh. You hear it before you even see them. Rustling sound, a chittering. As you stumble towards the noise, you hear the quickening flutter of wings and panic shrill chirps. A swarm of bats takes chaotic flight towards you. Roll mind +5, not panic at their flight. Okay, so I don't have any bonuses for mind. So we've just gone, well, that's quite high. I've got a roll of 5. It's a 3, she fails. So she panics. So yeah, that's a pass. This is a fail. You run away from the panic bats as they swarm towards you. It's many minutes before they disperse, and you're in an unfamiliar part of the cave. Place yourself 3 tiles away, disconnected from your previous path, and generate a new chamber. As the sound of the bats fade away, is there something else echo in the cave? Barely audible. What is it? Oh, I like this. Okay, so we are going to... So we're going to go back into the low oxygen zone, holding our breath. I'm going to go 3 tiles away. So let's just say that's 1, 2. We'll go to this one. So let's just say we're up here now. So we've gone to the side. Oops. And this is a little thing. So we're now here. So this was... I'm going to write these down actually. Encounter 7. So, as the sound of the bats fade away, there is something else echoing in the cave, barely audible, is it? I was not expecting to encounter bats so soon. What is the collective noun for bats? Anyone know? Answers in the comments, please. I must have surprised them. After all, they are not used to visitors down here. Maybe, which is quite good, it's the low oxygen, but I could have sworn someone was calling my name. Da, da, da. Okay. It's heating up. It's heating up. What I might do, I might actually get my little board to rest my book on. So we just filled out our latest journal entry. So I'm going to roll another D6 and see what we get. Oh, that's another encounter. Oh my God. Right, let's roll 2 D6s now. So that's 2 and a 3, and that's 5. So, oh, spiders. Here we go. Here we go. So, did I finish that, what I did before? Let me just double check. So I journaled about the bats, someone. Yep, okay, that's fine. So that's all there is now. 5 and 5. Okay. Spiders. Traversing a cave, you come to a point where the walls appear to be undulating. Shining your flashlight on it reveals nothing as the wall is pitch black and absorbs almost all the light. It isn't until you move closer that you realise the wall is covered in a mass of clustered scurrying spiders. I don't even have a spider phobia, but this is kind of creeping me out a bit. And some are beginning to jump off the wall and cover you. Oh no, roll 3+ not to freak out. Okay, well, we've got to roll an actual 3. We can't. 2, she's freaking out. Okay, we failed. The spiders cover you. Your vision blacks out except for the jittery legs moving across your face. You feel your body being slowly nudged through a crack in the wall before you emerge into a new chamber. As the spiders scatter, take -1 to mind. The next chamber is a diamond scenario. This is now where you are. Oh, okay, so we've entered the scenario. So we were in here. So was this spiders? Yes, this was spiders. And then I'm now in a scenario, so we're going to go here. Okay, so this is encounter number 5. We'll do an extra note for the scenario. Just want to go back to the bats quickly. Yep, so that was... This was... I'm going to make it a bit neater. This was definitely the spider cave. So this was bats. That looks more like a fly, but never mind. And these were spiders. And now we've been pushed into a scenario. So I know a scenario takes up more than one tile. So let's give it all these. Give it 4. Okay, let's draw these out. I think I've got this right. That's a scenario. And it's a diamond one. Just going to consult the book quickly just to make sure I've got that right. Aha. Ah, yes, scenario chambers will be larger. Excellent. Okay, so I've drawn that on. So I need to journal, encounter 5. Oh, and we've lost -1 mind, good grief. Cool. Is there any rules if I hit -1 mind? Let's have a read. So I don't think that correlates with harm. Okay, okay. So yeah, it's my mind skill. It's not, okay. Actually, it's quite good that she's lost a bit of mind because I feel as though it's going to be quite, I wouldn't say easy to journal about, but given that she's been scared by the bats, she's now been scared by the spiders, I mean, yeah, it's understandable she's going to start feeling a bit, you know, frayed in her nerves, let's say. Okay, so what am I doing? I'm on to encounters. Okay, so encounter 5. Spiders. After running away from the bats, I noticed an odd wall to my left. As I was moving quickly, I must have tripped. When I got up, I shone a torch on the wall. It was covered in spiders, to my horror. Stupidly, given my phobia, I must have been in shock. It's the only explanation. I approached the wall. Got closer. It was like lightning. The first one jumped. And others followed. Before I knew it, I was covered. I screamed. and ran as fast as I could. I somehow ran through a crack in the wall. It led to another chamber. Okay, so Jade, she is covered in spiders. They're crawling up her arm, crawling up, up her face. You can feel them like legs going into her nostrils and her ear holes. Like, yeah, she's just absolutely covered, and she's kind of, I suppose her brain isn't very much engaging with her body at the minute. She's just running around like, what's the phrase I'm looking for? I can't think of it right now, but she's running around without much thought, much care, and yeah, she kind of wedges herself into this crack in the wall and then emerges into another chamber. So we've lost -1 to mind out of the franticness of it all. Like, she's been chased by bats, she's now covered in spiders, she thinks she's hearing someone call her name. She's getting a little bit worried now that she's, in some sort of form of shock. But we'll see what the scenario tells us. Okay, so it was a diamond. How do I know what a diamond is in this? Let me go back. So it was encounter, and it was the spider one. I think it was 7. No, was it 5? Yeah, spiders. Here we go. Is a diamond scenario. Okay. So that's leaf, jagged hollow, lost library. That'd be quite cool. Lost library. The manor. That's a stop. The still. That's water. Still the still. Obelisk is a circle, bone theatre, antechamber. Oh, unknown staircase, a door. Where's a diamond? The web. Oof. Okay, this is the right one. That's definitely a diamond, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, the web. Let's just double check. Don't trust myself. Encounters. So that's it. Yeah, I'm happy with that. The passageway ends abruptly into a large... Oh, no, she fell into a pit. And you have to brace yourself against the passage will open and stop from forming. There's another passageway on the other end of the chamber on the other side of a large, unfathomably deep pit. From the passageway, a little bit of sunlight leaks into the dark cave, and you can hear the whistle of the wind. Kicking a rock down the drop causes a stomach-churning long wait before you hear it hit the bottom. There are old pythons, I think that's to claw into rock, isn't it? Fastened into ceiling that seem sturdy, but their age causes doubt. The only way across seems to be scaling the ceiling. One hand gripping the ceiling while the other hooks in the safety rope. You hope your arm muscles won't fail you.